I'm Dr. Krystal Lee, also known as Author K. Lee. I'm excited because today we are going to be talking about grabbing your sparklers and getting ready to celebrate independence. I know with the 4th of July being yesterday, a lot of us are probably still hearing the ringing all through the night from fireworks and things popping, making big noises. But for some of us, everything's making noise around us, but we may not be feeling that noise in our hearts and our minds. It's not at the forefront. In fact, we try to forget. If you have been trying to forget the plans that you've been making or saying you want to do, dreams you thought would have already manifested that have not, you're in the right line. Welcome to Embrace Your Crown. So, awesome. Yes. So, one of the things that I would say is when we first think of, oh my goodness, something new is about to happen, we think of the fireworks, we feel that excitement. But again, that excitement tends to wear off when other things start to show up, like pressure, you know, responsibility, accountability, work. For some of us, we're stuck somewhere in between. And so I want to encourage you today, this month, for the month of July, with our topic, grab your sparklers and let's celebrate. And I want to step you through our agenda real quick. I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing? Thanks for tapping in. Welcome to the live. He who informs himself. Welcome. I'm gonna just pop this up in the back just so you can see our screen. I know if you are on some of the other platforms, it shows more. I will do my best to click through this so y'all can see it on TikTok. I'm gonna make this bigger in a second once it finishes. Let's see how it uh let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. All right, now y'all be able to see more of what the presentation looks like. When you are a part of the group, you will get access to this PowerPoint. So if you want the PowerPoint, you want to subscribe, you can click the link in my profile to subscribe, or you can use the QR or the button that will show up on the bottom of your screen. Katie, can you pull up that subscribe? Thank you so much. So yeah, so you can use that in order to get access to the full presentation because it's amazing. I'm telling you. And if you want to remember the content that I'm going to share, you definitely want to subscribe and grab that. So check out my profile, use that link to get the subscription and allow you to see everything. All right. I'm not trying to do that. All right. So here we go. Yay. I love this. Okay. So this is getting you guys caught up. So that's what we were just talking about, the intro to all of this. I'm going to step you through the agenda real quick. The agenda is simple. I'm going to give you a brief history of Embrace Your Crown. Embrace Your Crown started because I wanted to encourage my children and just other people that are wanting to write, tell their stories, build businesses, do something they've never done or no one in their family has done or may not have garnished the type of success that they're looking for. And I wanted to be the example that I wanted other people to be able to learn from or see. Okay. So if that's you, wonderful. Welcome to Embrace Your Crown. Also, I wanted to be able to share basically my journey, my story as a business professional, as a coaching consultant, as well as an author. I'm a 64-time published author, still writing, still publishing. I do own a publishing company, KLE Publishing. So if you need help with telling your stories, you can definitely reach out to my company. We would love to talk to you. I'll mention them towards the end of the presentation if you need help from my company. But right now, I just want to focus on you. So that's why I'm going to welcome you to the table. So for my kingdom builders, these are people that are business owners, career professionals, are my royals. You manage, whether it's managing your home. If you work from home, I believe in that. If you're a stay-at-home parent, I think it's great. Me and my husband, we have a great thing going on where one of us is able to be home and do what we have to do to manage our house. And so if that's you, you can still be a manager and still be a royal. For my knights, these are people that are intercessory prayer warriors. You're always thinking of other people. You'll learn something new with the mindset of how can I teach someone else who needs this? You are what I call a knight, and I welcome you to this table, to this conversation. And lastly, specially invited guests, you are someone who honestly is looking for something, may not be totally clear on what it is, But you just want something new to happen in life. You're looking for that spark again. You're looking for, okay, what am I going to do? How can I do it today? Is this all there is to life? If these are questions you've been asking yourself, you are my specially invited guest. So if you haven't felt special, if you haven't felt like purpose is still on your side, I want to remind you it is. Hi, I'm here to help remind you of some things that honestly is in you. Don't let it die. All right. So I'm going to encourage you today. I want to bring you now into the check-in. Now, if you've never been into an Embrace Your Crown, honestly, mentoring program or concept with me, I want to show you how ultimately I help you check in with where you are and where you want to go. One of the things I believe is everything that's happening in your life is basically connected. Okay. So how you feel mentally, emotionally, physically, also, spiritually, as far as how is it connecting to your goals, your dreams, all of these things are interconnected. And when there's a breakdown in one area, it may not completely derail your life, but it can stall your progress. How many of y'all believe in that? Okay. If you believe, my goodness, if I could just fix this, then all these other things can start to click. Okay. And sometimes it's a personal problem you have that's leaking into business. Sometimes you don't know how to departmentalize your business and separate it from family. So you have zero family time. So although you might be winning corporately, you're losing socially or romantically. I want to help you to do a check in to see where you are, to get honest, so you can actually accomplish and have the things that you need. Okay. And also the things you want and you desire. What I love about God is God says He will give us the desires of our hearts. So it's not always about, what we might think it is. Sometimes it's just about you. I know for many of us, we're like, well, I don't think about me. I don't really feel like I'm important. Nobody really cares. Like we have these things that we say in the background. And I want to encourage you that people do care. And if no one has ever cared, hi, my name is Dr. Krystal Lee, and I do. My goal is to help you to embrace your crown, embrace where you are, how you feel, what you would like to do, what you set out to do, what are your goals, what are your dreams, what are your ambitions. And for some of us, we threw those things away a long time ago because we felt like maybe they weren't realistic or they weren't achievable. And we tried to downsize, but the more we try to make it achievable and simple, the more disinterested we became. So if you are disinterested in the things that used to make you excited, or if they no longer hold that same feeling for you, I want to encourage you with today's foundational text. Okay. So here's our foundation. I believe, again, when we can start setting our eyes on something that's higher than where we are, it makes life a whole lot easier. So today's foundational text is coming from Exodus chapter 5, verses 1 through 5 is where I start. But it goes a little bit more. It even goes into chapter 6. But if you're in the overflow, you're going to get the overflow part of this. I'm only going to get enough time to take you through part 1. And after that, in the overflow, we'll go through part 2. Okay. So here's part 1. Afterward, Moses and Aaron went and said to Pharaoh, "Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, let my people go that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness." But Pharaoh said, "Who is this Lord that I got to even be worried about him? I don't even know about him." And I'm paraphrasing now, y'all. And if he is so big, then why don't I hear about him? And why are you my slaves and I'm not your slaves? If this is such a great God that I need to be mindful of. This is Pharaoh's heart. Okay. I want to show you something. Because for some of you, you feel like, I don't really have a dream. I don't really have something I'm working towards. I'm just working to stay alive, to stay afloat, because right now life isn't quite making sense. It's really kind of running me instead of me, making my choices and embracing my independence. Many of us are looking on other people to become our, I don't want to use the word master, but that we're looking for other people to lead us. And sometimes the people that we're looking to lead us don't have your best interests. How many of you knew Pharaoh did not have the best interests of the Hebrews? He wasn't looking out for their best health. He wasn't looking out for their mental, social, emotional well-being. And for some of us, we're looking up to organizations, up to people, up to companies that don't really care about us, okay, to be able to help us to determine what's good for us. Moses and his people had to get to a point where they were looking to God to tell them what's better. Because what they were used to, so how many of y'all know sometimes what you're used to is slavery? What you're used to is lack. What you're used to is poverty. What you're used to is brokenheartedness. What you're used to is frustration. What you're used to is all these limiting things. So when people say these things, or when you see this, we say it's normal because it's what we've been experiencing. But I want to encourage you that there is more to the matter. And if you want the more, if you want to change your life, you have to embrace your crown. You have to embrace who you are and what you are wanting to get to. And I believe God and knowing the word of God can help you get there. Okay. The best part about the Bible is it's meant to show you the characteristics of the Father. So if we don't know his characteristics, we don't know what he stands for. We only know him and how we experience him. And how many of you know sometimes the way we experience him is not necessarily a good reflection of all he wants to do for us. For some of us, we haven't seen him part the Red Sea because we never asked it of him. We never gave him room to show us these things. We just assume he don't do that anymore. He won't do that for me. I haven't seen it in my mom or in someone's life, so that means it's a dead thing. I want to let you know this is a living God, and he has great things in store for each and every one of us, but it does require us to work to get to some of these things, okay? Salvation is free, but it requires you to work out your soul salvation. That's the working part, okay? All right, I see someone, Mr. Moore. How you doing? Thank you for tapping in. Went to the park to talk with God today. Got to be better. I understand. We got to be better. We got to have conversations with them. If we don't walk and talk with them, how can we have a relationship? Okay, so here I'm paraphrasing this part. So he's telling Moses, why are you even distracting me, telling me what I need to do to let Hebrews go so that they can work, when in fact you're stopping them from their work when they're already supposed to be busy. So he says, clearly, these people must not have enough work to do. So what he did is he penalized the people because Moses came to ask something of him or even demand something of him that God told him to. How many of you are under the direct leadership of the Father? And when the Father tells you, go write the book, go start the business, go do this, go vote, go and do this, go and share this message, the person you're sharing it with rejects you. Not only do they reject you, but they tell you you're useless. They make the lives of those people that you're trying to fight for more difficult. They penalize you because you stepped in front of other people that were suffering on the job. And now all of a sudden they're taking out their retaliation against you because you were the one that stood up for everybody else. Have you ever been that person where you're like, you know what, this isn't fair? We should be able to request our days off, and they should be giving us time. We should have PTO. We should have all of these things. And when we try to use it, they penalize us for taking days off, telling us they're not going to credit it and all this other stuff. If we don't show up, we're fired. Okay. This is stuff like the Pharaoh was doing. He was giving people impossible tasks. How can you show up every day for work when you have 365 days in a year, and in none of those days do they want you to call off or take off or be sick? It's unrealistic. And that's what Pharaoh and his people were doing, unrealistic tasks. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make this applicable to our day. All right, I pray this is helping. Okay, so not only did he do that, he told Moses, basically, get out of my face. And then he told his managers, the people that work for him, he says, I want them to make the same amount of bricks, have the same amount of productivity, but I'm not going to give them what they need to do it. How many of us feel like we're in positions where we don't have what we need to do what we're supposed to do? So now we feel like we're losing. You're a manager. You have people working under you, but they won't give you the supplies. You're a teacher at a school, but they won't give you the books. So now you're held accountable for them meeting a quota, a benchmark, but you don't have the resources, nor the support, nor the foundation to reach it because you have to deal with social issues and parenting issues and this issue and that issue, which pulls you away from teaching. But they say, well, hey, deal with that too, but you also got to do this too. And then, oh, by the way, do this. And you got to do something after school. And then you have to do this and plan events for the parents. You're like, wait a minute. This is like 3 jobs. How many of you are working 3 jobs getting 1 salary or 1 paycheck? Okay. So this is how they were feeling at this point because Moses stepped up to do what the Father said. Hold on 1 second. Someone had a comment. Let me roll that back. So God, I've got to be a leader and CEO eventually of my life. Yes, you do. Okay. And that's what this is about. When I say celebrate your independence, I'm talking about the good and the trying that comes with independence. I know when we think of independence, we think of fireworks, we think of freedom, all the things we're going to do differently. But sometimes we don't quite see how this is a responsibility. It's pressure. It's a lot of stuff that goes with it. And I'm going to show you what happened to Moses. So after Moses did that, in verse 20 of chapter 5, here comes the Hebrews coming to Moses. And they say this to Moses. They met Moses and Aaron, who were waiting for them as they came out from Pharaoh. And they said this to them: the Lord look on you and judge you, because you have made us stink in the sight of Pharaoh and his servants, and have put a sword in their hand to kill us. You made our lives difficult. You said you was going to help us. Hey, Quantum, good to see you. Now my life is harder. How many of you, when you are trying to do something good for people, what's up? How you doing? All of a sudden, your life becomes harder. All of a sudden, you get the target on your back. All of a sudden, it felt like demon, devil, and foes are all charging you because you're the one trying to do right in a system, in a world, in a government, in a political atmosphere, in a social one, in a romantic one, in a marriage, in a parenting relationship. You're trying to do things right, but it feels like you're under fire. Okay? If this is how you feel, welcome to Moses's world. Glad the Father has something to say about it. I want to encourage you. All right. Hey, Mark, good to see you, cuz. All right. So this is what happens. Then Moses turns to the Lord and said, oh, Lord, why have you done evil to this people? Why did you ever send me? How many of you are saying, God, why are you trying to use me? Why do you want me to write my book? Why do you want me to start a business? Why are you calling me to be a pillar of my family? I'm the youngest. I'm the oldest. I'm the middle. Nobody listens to me. Nobody cares about me. I'm a little this. I'm a little that. I'm not a big fish in a big pond. In fact, nobody seems to, appreciate what I have to bring to life. If you've said these things, okay, I want to encourage you that there is something on the other side of this. Don't quit. Don't give up. I want to show you, because if Moses would have stopped here, all right, here's Moses saying, why did you even pick me, God? You made a mistake. He didn't say he made a mistake because he knows better, but he said, why did you pick me? Why not somebody else to deal with what? These people's pressure, okay? The Father won't put more on you than you can bear. I know some of you are saying, Lord, I can't deal with these people. I can't deal with this job. I can't deal with this. Stop saying that. Because if you couldn't deal with it, or if you can't deal with it, I want you to lean on God instead. Lean on the Lord like Moses did. When Moses couldn't deal with it, he leaned on the Father. And the moment he stopped doing that and he tried to do it out of his own strength, he hit a rock and lost too much. Okay? So I want to encourage you. When you go through something and it feels overwhelming, don't quit. Lean on the Father. He says, in your weakness, he's made strong. But if you don't allow him to be strong in your life, then you're going to find that he's not there when you need him most. Not because he's not there, but because you won't embrace him. Okay? So here we go. Why did you ever send me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done evil to this people, and you have not delivered your people at all. He's telling the Father what he did not do. You told me to come. How many of y'all know, Lord, you gave me this vision. You told me to write this book. You told me to show up. You told me to go live. You told me to do this. And I'm looking for the people. I'm looking for the money from my orders. I'm looking for progress. I'm looking for something that says I'm winning. And all I see is people complaining or things going wrong, things falling short of the mark of my idea of success. So, Father, what happened? Did you leave me? Did you forsake me? Am I at a loss? Is this over? Okay. If you are saying these things, if you are feeling these things, let me show you this. Let's do the check-in. Okay. So there are 6 points in the check-in. We're going to do check-in point 1. During this live, I have enough time to do 3 of the check-ins, okay? So if you want to access the next 3, I want you to subscribe, okay? To subscribe, you will have to click the link in my profile on TikTok, or you can use the QR that's on the screen right now, and that will allow you to be able to get into the overflow message, which will happen right after this one. Okay, so I want you to do that because I want you to get all 6 points plus the aftermath message. You got to get to the end of this. I just kind of walked you through it, but I want to show you all the way to the finish line. All right, so let's get into checkpoint 1. Checkpoint 1 is excitement, the thoughts of freedom. What happens is when we first think of independence, we're like, yeah, I can't wait to be grown. Y'all remember we used to say that? I can't wait to get out your house. And then all of a sudden we get grown and we get outside and we get our own apartment, or we go to college, and it's like the weight hits us that, oh my goodness, I'm grown. All of a sudden adulting isn't as much fun as we thought it would be. This sense of freedom doesn't feel as good as we thought it would. When the Hebrews were set free, okay, when they were released from Egypt, the first thing they hit was adversity. The first thing they bumped into was adversity. And the first thing they said was, let us go back to our slave. They wanted to go back to slavery. They wanted to go back to what they knew, because independence was scarier than, well, being dependent was scarier than being independent. It's easier to have someone else tell us what to do. It's easier to blame someone else for the reasons why we fail in life. It's easier to say the reason why my life isn't going the way it should is because of my mom, because of my dad, because of God, because of life, politics, this, that. Yeah, it's easy to do that. I call those excuses. Some people call those realities, and they have really nice words. But I want to let you know, if you want to change your life, you have to realize you have the power to do it. If you are still stuck on, oh, I'm waiting on this, I'm waiting on that, I'm waiting, I want to let you know, most of us are not waiting. Most of us don't believe, so we're not working, which is why we're not prepared for when opportunities come, which is why a lot of things pass us by, is because we have not been working all this time. So when things come, we miss out on so many things, and we feel like God don't love us or like us or don't see us because things don't rest with us. No, the reason things don't rest with you is because you have not been preparing for what is to come. You might say, man, I'm looking for Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, but they ain't out here. No, you're not prepared if they do come. Because when they come, they're going to find you what? Not ready. And then you're going to have to wait till the next one comes. How many of you know there are only so many buses that come in a day? Okay. Buses what? Shut down at a certain time. Okay. For some of us, we don't know the day nor the hour in which we will leave Earth. So this is why it's important, why it is still yet day. Okay. Let us seek the Lord. Let us seek the things we should be doing. Let us follow through with our purpose. Let us get busy while we still have the ability to work, because accidents happen all the time. You can be doing life and all of a sudden break your arm, and now you can't write. Now you can't type. So while you have the use of all your phalanges, use them. While you have the use of your mind, use it. Because when you get older, who's to say if memory loss won't happen, if dementia doesn't kick in, if Alzheimer's might not take its place. And see, if you've done the work you know is in your heart to do, you'll have no regrets. And that's the point. You want to keep this same excitement you felt when you first thought about freedom. When you think about freedom, you think about all the possibilities. Okay. I want you to remember that feeling. I want you to store this power that says all things are possible. Why? Because all things are possible to those who believe. If you don't believe life can change, it won't. If you don't believe life can be different, it won't. If you don't see that you are more than a conqueror, then what you gonna conquer? Or are you gonna be conquered? You're gonna be conquered. Hey, Quantum, I appreciate you. And Mr. Moore, thank you so much. So I want to let you know, if you have been stuck here, your excitement is weighing because your ethics, your work ethic is dead. Your faith is dead, right? The Bible says what? Hope deferred makes your heart grow sick. When you're hoping for something, it never happens because you didn't put the work in it, or you didn't keep faith through it, or you didn't believe for it. Then what is the Father going to do? What is he going to say? All things are, he already said it. This is the good things of the Father. He inspired the whole Bible, so we will be without excuse on what he's capable of. We might say, well, I don't know if God can do it. The devil is a liar. You saw him part the Red Sea. Is it harder than that? Is it easier than that? If you know that answer, then you know what God can do. The only question you're really asking is, will he do it for you? And then that question becomes, have you asked? And then when you ask, did you do what he told you to do? Because for some of us, he's going to tell you, study to show yourself approved. For some of us, go to college and get this information. For some of us, hire a consultant because they know this and I've trained them. I put this in them to help you. Are you willing to pay the people the Father sent to you? Or do you want everything for free? How many of you know life is not free? Even following the Father is not free. You might say, well, Krystal, it shouldn't cost money to do everything, but it costs you something. It costs you time. It costs you energy. It costs you belief. It costs you hope. It costs you faith. It costs you commitment. It costs you to be consistent. Prayer is time, consistency, belief, hope, trust, faith. All of that stuff has to be activated. That's work. Okay. So when I say it's going to cost you something, it is. It is. It cost the Messiah his life to redeem us. So what makes us think that we can tap into all he's done and it's not going to cost us nothing? It's just free. No, the Bible says what? Did the Father, then the Father sent his Son to do all of these things so we can keep living a sinful nature, to keep living in iniquity? No, Paul says, Lord forbid. He didn't die for us to keep being sinners. He died so that he can what? Set captives free. He wants to deliver you, not see you going through the same problems all the time and you don't ever get out, or you never make it out, or you never see your way out, believe your way out, pray your way out. He wants you to taste him and know that he is good. How will you ever do that if you never get consistent? If you never put in the work, then you're just going to be leaning on excuses, and excuses don't get us nowhere. Excuses are only reasons to fail. I'm going to say that again. Excuses are only reasons to fail. If you have more excuses than you have successes, then really you just have more reasons to fail than to win. I want you to change that. Honestly, you got to change that. If you want to change your life, you have to change what you're willing to excuse. Some things are not excusable. They're not okay. We might say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. There are certain things that are just not okay. And you have to know what that is, because when you know what it is, you can correct it. I have an employee that I'm currently training. And during the training process, it can be a little difficult, a little testy, because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But if I don't tell her what I want, if I don't lay out my expectations and I just let her do whatever she wants, and I just say, you know what, it's okay. You do it your way as long as you understand it. But if I jump in your place because you took a day off and I don't get any of it and nobody else does because you have your own system, now we're creating an atmosphere where everyone is disjointed. No one's connected. So if you wonder why your business is stalling, it's probably because your culture is an individualized culture. You do not win with individuals. You win with a team that can think the same way, that can do things on the same train. Because when you do that, you're stronger with what? Numbers. It makes sense. The body of Christ is necessary to do the things that Christ calls us to do. But if I'm focusing on Krystal's life, you're focused on your life, Jesus was focused on his life and saving it, where would we be? Okay. But it's when we all can what? Become joined, right? And have a like mind, mind, one body, one heart, one spirit, then we can actually get stuff done. But when we get caught up in racial this and political that and geographical borderlines that are, I ain't gonna go that far. I'm just gonna say, we can't allow petty things to divide us because it conquers us. When you allow petty and small things to divide you from your purpose and what you could do collectively, you are really forfeiting your purpose. You're really forfeiting all you could achieve because you're stuck on only what you can do. You have to think bigger than you. You're thinking too small. That's a problem. Most of us, our problem is not we don't dream, is we dream too small. You need to think bigger. Okay. So here's the next thing. Pressure, the loss of foundation. What happens is once we get over this euphoric, wonderful feeling of independence and we start realizing that, oh, I don't really like this independent thing. Why? Because independence sometimes means you got to fight for it. When America got this country and became Americans, they had to what? Fight for this. The things you really want in life, you are going to have to fight for it. Fight to maintain it. And I don't mean necessarily doing a physical war and all that type of things, but I do mean you're going to have to work for it. America, even when it's separated from Britain, it still had to build its name, its foundation, its culture, its way of life, its politics. It had to build all of this stuff. It had to fight for all of that. Because guess what? There was a trouble around every turn. Not all of the fights and all of the wars were nice. Not all of them were good in nature. Some of them were not, which means you can make mistakes, okay? Because this country has a lot of them. You are going to make mistakes on the way. You are not going to have this perfect, clean, well-knitted life with no mistakes. Everything was right. Everything is politically sound. Everybody was done the way they should have been done. Some of us have done people dirty and we know it. Some of us have been done dirty and we know it. All right. But there is redemption. Okay. We are not able to excuse all of our past, but we can try to make better choices to improve our future. And I believe that is some of the things this country has been able to do. Is it perfect? Still, no, it's not. Is it doing everything right? No. But did it get some things right eventually? Yes. And is there still more growth? Definitely. Okay. But this is what we celebrate during independence. We celebrate the people that was willing to fight for the liberties we live today. And guess what? I don't believe all of their blood was in vain. In fact, I don't believe none of it was. But it's the way that you choose to live your life that really shows what you believe. It's not just what you say, it's how you live. So I want to encourage you, if you are feeling the pressure of being independent, okay, and if you're wondering, oh my goodness, will I fail? Will I make mistakes? Will I fall short of the mark? The answer is yes. When we make mistakes, when we miss the mark, when we lose something or we cost somebody something, when we are one of the reasons why Yeshua, Jesus, had to hit a strike, okay? All of those lashings he got was because of our transgressions, our sins. He who knew no sin became sin, endured sin, even endured brutality at the cross so that we may live and have an abundant life. Okay. So when we look at all the sins of other people, we have to understand that Christ bore all of that at the cross. So if you need redemption, if you need healing, if you need restoration, if you need hope, if you need a future, if you need to see life differently, if you need to believe for something better than what you was and what you were, then I want to encourage you that that is in Christ. People can't give you what you need sometimes because what you really need, they can't give. They can't make you whole. I know for some of us, we're carrying on burdens that we never even committed. Some of them we did, but we can't go back there. So we're just like, Lord, they still hate me from back then. And all you can say is, Lord, I give this to you. I can't control what my ancestors did. I can't control what I've done, but I can control how I'm living. And I can say that I'm doing my best to pave it forward or pass it forward. I'm doing my best to make a way forward that looks better for everybody that I really do care about. And I'm doing something. Okay. So what you do with your pressure determines a lot. All right. Third point, y'all. We're almost done. Third point, building, creating the world you want to live in. And that's what I was just talking about. When we are creating the world that we want to live in, when we are showing our commitment, our obedience, our thoughts, and our prayers through our actions, this is what turns your pressure into purpose. Okay. I want you to turn your pressure into purpose. If you feel pressure, that's because you have a purpose. If you feel overwhelmed, it's because you have something that is bigger than your own abilities. That means you need a team. All right. There are three more points. There's three more things I really, really want to say. But for the sake of time, I want to make sure we end on time. So we have about 10 more minutes in this live. But if you've been loving what you are hearing, I want to remind you to subscribe. You can do that by hitting my profile or using the QR code that's on the screen. That's going to allow you to get access to the next 3 points that I'm going to share immediately after this in the overflow message. I want you to get it. Okay. I really, really do, because there is so much more to this message. That's amazing. All right. So here is the details. If you want to grab it, you can go to inviteeyc.com or you can use my profile. Whichever one's easier for you, type it in your phone, take a screenshot. There it is. That's the website. That's how you can connect to it. But I want you definitely to jump in on this. I want you to subscribe, guys. I want to see you in like 20, 30 minutes because it starts at like 7 p.m. Central. Okay. No, it's not. What time is it? It's not 7. I'm looking at Eastern time. It's 4:57. Yeah. So it starts at 5:30 Central. So it's 6:30 Eastern if you're Eastern. Okay. So yeah. So I want you to jump in on that. I don't want you to miss these next 3 points. So make sure you do it. Okay. You can use the profile or use the pin, the QR, and it'll take you there as well. But here's what I want to make sure you know. You might say, okay, Krystal, what can I walk away with? What can I what is something I can hold on to? If you missed the earlier parts of the live, I want you to walk away with our mantra. Okay. But Embrace Your Crown, you got to have something that you declare. All right. So here is a declaration I have for you. Go back one, Kata, on the slide. It should be our mantra. It should have, go back another. All right, there we go. Here's our mantra. You have a purpose, share your story, and embrace your crown. This is what I believe about all of us. All of us have a life story. And what we do with our life story matters. Okay. If no one's ever told you you matter, I'm here to tell you and remind you you do. All right. Take a screenshot of this. Make sure you get it. Make sure you remember it. Screen, video, record, whatever you need to do. Make sure you hear this mantra. And I want you to say it over your own life. And I want you to connect with what it says. Saying it is great. Believing it is everything. All right. Because what you believe, you work for. All right. When you don't believe your efforts make a difference, you don't do anything because you don't feel like it's not gonna make no difference. Okay. I get it. It makes sense. Most of us are lazy not because we want to be. We're lazy because we don't believe in anything beyond what we don't believe that there's any power, any point to doing any action. So we do nothing. And we have excuses on why we do nothing. And it's really us being lazy, but the laziness is linked to us not believing in nothing. Okay. So when you find the root of the thing, you can fix the root and then it'll change how you look at things. You're no longer lazy because you know you're working for something. Now you realize you're working for a future. You're working for the kingdom of God. You're working for people who can't do it. You're doing this for someone else. It gives you purpose. Okay. So here we go. Here's our mantra. The best way to learn something is to teach someone else. Okay. This is why I do this is why I do this. Life coaching. I love coaching. I love mentoring, but it is time consuming. And I want to work with people who want to work with me. All right. Because I don't want to waste your time. And I'm sure you don't want me to waste yours either. So if you're looking for a mentor, if you're looking to get somewhere and you're like, Krystal, if you could just help me, I'm here to do that. That's why I do Embrace Your Crown every first Sunday. And I do this so even people who don't have a budget or maybe putting an investment to this is impossible. That's all right. Join me every first Sunday at 4 p.m. Central, and I'm going to help step you through what I can in the time I have. If you want more of my time, if you want to accelerate this process, go to inviteeyc.com, and I want you to subscribe. And I want you to jump into my mentoring program and not in addition to subscribing for the books. Okay. So there are 3 subscription levels. One is to get into the overflow. The next one is to get the books. And the third is to get into my mentor program. I want you to pick the one that makes the most sense for you. All right. So here we go. Here's the rest of it. You will not grow to all you can be if you do not train someone to stand in your place. Many of you are saying, man, I want to build a legacy. I got to build a legacy. I want something when I'm dead and I'm gone. Okay. Life insurance is great, but you want to show them how to maintain what you're building. Me and my husband are firm believers in coaching and training our children in the way that they should go. They might not like us today. My husband, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, ooh, that's kind of rough. He's like, yeah, you think I'm mean, huh, honey? I'm like, no, you're not mean. It's just some of the things you're doing. I understand it. But when you're a child, you don't realize the benefit of it yet. But I love what our oldest son, AJ, said. He says, when I was going through it, it was rough. But when I got to be an adult, I realized it was for my good. I want to let you know, when you realize that, you're going to tell your children what they need to know. You're going to train your employees, yes, to stand in your place. Why? So you can go do more. Some of you are fighting for old positions. You've been outgrew being a manager, but you refuse to train someone to manage in your place. So your business is stuck with you being the manager when you could be a visionary instead, when you could go be a franchise owner instead. Stop thinking so little. Stop thinking so little. Lord, I don't want to train nobody to be me, because if I teach them how to be me, then they're going to take, how are they going to take what you have? What you have is bigger. They work under you. They can work for you. They can partner with you. Yes, some people are going to leave and go start their own businesses. You're not going to stop them if that's their point. If anything, you can make them run to it faster, but they'll be ill-equipped, which is something you could have done. You could have been part of their legacy or vice versa, because they could say, man, I have plenty of clients, y'all, just being transparent testimony, I guess. One of my clients, Miss Becky, she knows who she is. I taught Becky how to start her own publishing company. I taught her how to write her own books. I taught her how to do coaching and consulting like I do. I taught her how to build websites. Everything she's doing, I taught her how to do. Do you think I'm afraid of her? No, I celebrate her because I said, man, every time she gets a new client or every time she needs something, she calls me. She's like, Krystal, guess what, girl? This is happening. That's happening. I celebrate her. I celebrate her independence. Good mothers, good fathers, they don't get jealous of their children. They celebrate them. They're like, man, you did that faster than I thought you would. Man, you went to the NFL. I was going to, but I changed my mind. You know what I'm saying? We can celebrate our children. We can celebrate the people we train or we mentor, we coach, because we see that our legacy includes them. It includes them. Okay, I want to show you how to build a legacy, because for many of us, we don't know how to build one. We think the only legacy we build is what we have for ourselves. That's not true. It's not true. Let me show you the mantra. Let me finish it. Okay, find a worthy trainee because they will carry your legacy. Some of y'all are going to train people that are not your natural born children to what? Be part of your legacy. Some of the greatest people that will toot your horn long after you're dead are not going to be your birth children, are not going to be people you put all this money into, all this time into. It could be somebody you put 10 minutes into on a live. It could be one person that read one of my books and they just went wild with it. They applied all the principles. Okay. And honestly, I believe I have more than one person. I believe I have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are going to order these books, that are going to get into my mentoring, that are going to do what they know to do. And I'm going to help them get there. I believe that. And when you start believing that, you start working in that mindset. All right. So here we go. Here's the next one. Your legacy is built by how you live and what you leave behind. Okay. It's about what you build and what you're going to leave for others. It's about thinking forward and thinking for the future. Secure your future generations by leaving them something to share and enjoy. Don't just leave them something they need. Give them something they can enjoy too, because it's going to make them connect with your vision. Some of your children don't want your businesses because they saw all the lack of enjoyment it left you with. You look depressed. You were stressed out your whole life. You think they want to inherit your business? Probably not. So find ways to make something enjoyable for them too. Show them how to get relief. Show them that you're balanced, because it'll make them want to be balanced and they'll want to keep your business. All right. Or they'll care about it. Not all of our children can handle what we do, but they can also find a love and a respect and a need to keep that legacy alive. Create the enjoyment, because it's part of our inheritance. Even in Ecclesiastes, it says part of your inheritance is to enjoy the work that you do. Many of us hate going to work. I want you to change that. I want you to find a way to find enjoyment or purpose in what you do. All right. Last one, never lose focus on the goal, your purpose and what you set out to do and you were born to do. Okay. I don't want you to lose sight of it. I want you to always realize there is more that the Father has for you. And if you haven't started experiencing the more, now is the time to start tapping into that. All right. I want to let y'all know there were 3 books that helped me start this series. And you can go to the tabs, Kata, too, just so you can they can see the QRs on these. So this is the first book that started it all. When I first started this series, Embrace Your Crown, I wasn't even going to publish the book, y'all. I was like, Lord, I want to put that book out there. Of all my books, even still today, this one is probably the most personable book. The one where I really express my failures, where I really express some of my weaknesses that some of them I still have. But the Father has shown me how to use them in a different way to where they don't break me anymore. Okay. So the name of this one is Open 7 Gates to Find and Overcome Heartbreak. Because for some of us, we are heartbroken and don't know how. We don't know where the heartbreak stems from, so we don't know how to mend it or overcome it. And I want to show you in this book with these 7 gates, these 7 simple principles on how you can overcome adversity, family turmoil, stuff like that I had to go through, we all go through, and how we can turn our experiences into advantages. All right. The subtitle on this book is everything. It is Stop Begging to Be Acknowledged, Appreciated, Loved, or Respected. If you are struggling with any of those things, this is the book I want you to start with. Okay. This is the one, the purple one. Okay. You can use the QR. And these are the 7 topics that are in the book. Real quick. The first one we're going to deal with is time. There's only so much time in a day. Time don't come back around. How you use it, invest it, or waste it is all up to you. All right. So if you don't know how that's working out or you want to change it, I want to encourage you to grab this book. And I'm going to show you principles on how to master using your time effectively. All right. The next thing is purpose. Your purpose isn't floating in the atmosphere, in the cosmos. Your purpose was born in you, with you, for you. Okay. You're here on purpose, even if the only person that knows it is God. You're not a mistake. All right. So if you need more in this, I want to show you your purpose is already within you. Let's find it. 9 out of 10, you buried it. We need to bring it back out. Okay. There's a whole lot more to it, but that's all I can share. Patience. Some of you are too patient. I know many of you are like, yeah, I need to be more patient. Some of y'all so patient. People don't even respect you because they don't got to. Because you're so patient, you will endure it anyway. And they know it. That's a clear sign you have a boundary problem. I had it. I had to deal with it. It took years, but I did do it. And now I'm really good at it. I'm patient, but I have boundaries. If you are missing the connection between those 2 things, I want you to start with this book, grab the book. You can click my profile on TikTok and you can go straight to it, invite EYC, and you can click on this book. But This one here, I'm telling you, it works. Next is patterns. We all got patterns, habits. It's another way of saying it. Okay. So if you have habits, things you do and don't know how to control it, things you want to change, but you've been unsuccessful, yes. Atmosphere, wants and desires, lifestyle. These are all things that are connected. Some people you're around gonna have to move, or you do. Okay. Another thing is your wants and desires can be disconnected. Sometimes you say, I really want this, I really desire this, but you really find you keep attracting old people, old situations, things you don't like, you don't want. You need to check what your wants and desires are because they might be misaligned. All right. And I'm going to show you how to vet that and fix it. All right. Next thing, I'm going to show you the next book in this series. Here it is. This one I had to write. When I thought I was done, y'all, I realized I wasn't done. And this book quickly reminded me, nope, you're not done. I got more to talk about. So in this book, this one is open 5 gates to overcome unbelief, because your biggest threat to progress is not what you think, but it's really your unbelief. So in this one, I'm going to present to you 5 gates. These are the 5 gates I want you guys to lock into. I want you to know them. And they go like this. 1, I want you to know you don't need magic to change your life, ibbity bobbity boo style. What you need is power. Okay? You don't need magic. You need power. That was the very first thing that I had to put in this book, even before I got to the 5 gates. All right. Now, here is the first gate. You need to make room for miracles. And if you're wondering, well, how do I make room for miracles, Krystal? I thought those were like wishes or something. No, miracles and wishes are not the same thing. All right. If you've been thinking they are, I want you to grab this book because I'm going to show you how they're not. And I'm going to show you how to utilize miracles and how the Father wants you to become a participant in a miracle. All right. Next thing, know the promise. You need to know the promises of God. You need to know the promises you make to yourself. And you need to know if you can value your opinion. Can you value your word? Is there power to this? They say, put respect on my name. Should it be? Are you going to show up? Are you going to do anything? Or is this just something you like saying? Okay. So let's look at the promises, and we got to know what they mean. Okay. If your promises are too weak, I want to show you how to fix it. All right. Next thing, dare to dream. Some of us stopped dreaming because we saw ourselves fail. And when we failed, we decided I'm not trying because I don't want to be a failure. I'm just going to not try. So then that means I'm not a failure. I'm a winner, because winners, what? They never play a game they will fail at. I want to let you know that's foolishness. You're not going to be great at everything. You're going to have to try. You're going to have to fail. And when you fail, you will learn from your mistakes and you'll be able to best them, master them, and be great. You're not great because you didn't try anything that was difficult. That doesn't make you great. Being great is what? Overcoming adversity. It's building up grit. It's having stamina. It's not quitting in well-doing. It's having guts. Okay? If you ain't got no guts and you won't try anything hard, many people will call you a coward. The Bible talks about cowards and cowardice. If you want to know more about it, it's in the chapter. I got you. All right, here we go. Kick negativity. You got to kick negativity. You got to kick negative thoughts. You got to stop saying what you can't do and all that good stuff. Just say you won't do it. Empower yourself with your own words. If you won't do something, just say it. I'm not going to do that. Don't say I can't help you tomorrow. I wish I could. That's a lie. Most of us know it's a lie. Just say, hey, I won't be able to help you tomorrow. That is a more effective statement because it is you embracing your crown, embracing your power, embracing your decision. You have a choice. I know other people may make us feel like if they ask, we have to do it. The answer is no, you don't. You deserve a day off. You deserve a mental break. You don't have to go and do what everybody asks you to do. Although you could, but if you do that, you will burn yourself out. And who's going to come and save you? Probably not the people that's been asking you all this stuff. Now you have to come and fix yourself. So if you fix yourself along the way, you are stable, you are consistent, and you can build what you want for yourself. I have some stories in this chapter that I believe will help you if you are constantly shifting your priorities for other people. That means there's a problem there. All right. So here is the 5th gate. I want you to take courage and work. It's not enough to say I believe in myself. Anybody can say they believe, but how many of you know? If you ain't working for it, no, you don't. If you ain't willing to work for it, you really don't believe for it. So you're going to have to push yourself to really do the work, or you honestly don't believe. All right. It's an excuse. Excuses look good because they look like the real reason you should fail, but they're just a reason why you fail. All right, book 3. I had to do this because if I didn't do this and wrap these 3 books together, I would have left you hanging. All right, so here is the 3rd book in this series. This one is Open 3 Gates to Sharpen Your Focus. If you've been doing the work, if you've been believing, I would dare say these are 3 gates that you may want to look at. Yes, there are more than 3 chapters in this book, but these are the 3 gates I want to make sure you never forget. 1, you have to adjust your focus. Usually when you are going, gone, and things are not happening or they're not materializing or what you've been doing hasn't been working, you want to adjust your focus and make sure you're still looking at the right target. Sometimes we're looking at what other people said we should have, other people said we should do. And this is why we're feeling this anxiety or this failure. It's because we're trying to live up to other people's expectations of what we should be or should be doing. I want to help you. Look at what the real thing is. I want to show you how to adjust your focus and get healthy tunnel vision. Next thing, remember what you did before. This is everything good and not so good. This is things that went right, things that didn't go right, things that taught you what not to do. Okay. In this chapter, I want to show you how to balance the good and the bad. All right. If you're struggling with that, if you're like, Krystal, it's been bad for several years. Okay. Now we really need to look at, remember what you're doing. Look at what you're doing. When was it right? When was it good? Okay. Because these things are compounding. And I want you to get to the core of where is all this coming from? Maybe you've been sweeping stuff under the rug for years, and now you're tripping over the rugs because you never swept under them. You never cleaned under them because you figured it would clean itself. It's not. So let's go back and do the work. If you haven't done it, let's do it with this book. Okay. So this is the one I'm going to suggest you start with. If this is where you're at. The next one, put it all on the table. This right here is so important because a lot of us never put it all on the table. A lot of us, when we pray, we don't ask the Father for everything. We ask him for what we believe he can do or will do, want to do. And then what we feel like is too much, we leave out. How many of you have done that? How many of you have done that to yourself? You don't put real pressure on yourself. You ask yourself for little things. Oh, I just want to have a smoothie at least 2 days a week. When you know good and well you could do a smoothie every day, but you're too lazy to do every day. So you don't want to fail. So you would just say 2 days because you know you can do it. You need to push yourself, stretch yourself. When you're in the gym, and my husband's good at this, you need to lift heavier weights, even though you may not look perfect in lifting all 10. Increase your weight because what? You did the last weight so easily, it's no longer working. It's no longer effective. It's no longer challenging you. You're no longer building. In fact, you're absolutely wasting your time because it's not going to what? Lead to nothing. Some of you are doing actions on autopilot and they're not leading you anywhere because your focus is gone. Your focus is on easy instead of progress. Okay. So if you are stuck, this is it. I want you to check out this book. Okay. Now, here are the next 2. If you have been led to write your story, tell your story, or anything like that, I want to give you the groundwork on how to ultimately do that. Now, where'd you put that? Lord help me. This is the only negative having so many books is you got to move stuff to get to stuff. But anyway, so here are the 2 books. I want to show these real quick. So in these 2 books, this is paperback and hardback. There are 2 versions that go with this book. Ultimately, you can pick the one that makes the most sense for you and can help you. But in this book, I'm going to share you how to write your story, your life story, your biography, you know what I'm saying, and make it easy for other people to read or to learn from. So here are the 6 modules I want to take you through. There's more in the book, but these are the 6 core things I want you to walk away with knowing from this book. All right. So if you don't have this book and you know you want it, you know you need it, you can use a QR. You can also use my profile link and then click on the slider where it has the book and you can order the book from there. All right. So here it is. 1, I'm going to show you why are you writing. I'm going to show you how to ask the question and answer it. Some of you are writing your books. It's great, but you don't really know what you're writing for. You don't know what you want the reader to do. You don't know what you want yourself to do with the book. So I want to help you. Another thing is planning your book. I want to show you how to outline your book. I've written and published 64 books of my own, not including ghostwriting projects. Okay. And in my 64 books, I've done this 6 module step to get all of them done. And I'm going to show you how to do it too. Okay. Next thing is you want to start writing your book. Okay. For some of us, we're intimidated with the writing process and we just say, let AI write it. It's not always the best option. Okay. It might be good to have it help you to outline, but to write your story, It needs you. It needs your, even your imperfection. You don't have to be perfect. That's where a lot of us are going wrong. We're like, oh, I got to be perfect. I got to nail this. I got to do everything right. No, you don't, and you won't. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have grammar edits. It's going to need something. It's all right. We're humans. We're not robots. We're not going to be grammatically correct all the time. But that won't stop people from reading your book who needs it. All right. Now, I'm not saying have a book filled with a million errors on one page. You need an editor. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean you can't write your story. It just means you're going to need more people to help you finish it, polish it, and that's all right. Another thing, editing your book made easy is in there, designing your book, and ultimately how to publish it is in there. You will also get a free consultation from KLE Publishing to show you how to publish your book, or they'll do it for you. Okay. So if this can bless you, I encourage you to go to, Embrace Your Crown or invite EYC and order the book. You can also use the QR code to grab it. If you are looking to start your business, all right, what happens is a lot of us want to do stuff, but we don't know the first thing about starting a business, right? And starting a business is not all that fun if you feel like you're lost, all right? So here is the book, and here is the guide that you can get with the Embrace Your Crown or with the turnkey. Can you move to the next slide, please? Thank you. Thank you. So with this one, this book right here is going to show you how to launch your business. All right. There are 5 modules in this series that I really want you to make sure you will get. You can use this with your authorship business. If you are a published author or someone who has a company and you're like, Krystal, I have this business, but I don't know how to grow it. I don't know how to develop it. I don't know what's the first step or how to take it from where it's at. Please, please, please take advantage of this book and this series and the consultation that you'll get when you get the hardback book. Okay. Thank you so much. I do see you. All right. So in this one, here are the 5 modules I'm going to help you deal with. All right. If you need my help, put a comment in the comments or send me a direct message and I will definitely get it. Just say name, email, phone number, and how can I help? And I will definitely reach back out to you or have my staff do it. Okay. But I want to make sure you don't miss this. Okay. Because it's really important. Here are the 5 steps you're going to need as a business owner or a person that wants to launch your business right. All right. 5. 1, developing your message. Okay. A lot of people fail at this point, and when you fail at this point, it makes the rest of it really difficult too. Okay. So when we nail this, we know we can nail building out your business. So allow me to help you do that. All right. Oh, 1 second. This is on TikTok is asking me a question with a puzzle. So here we go. So here's the next one. Mindset and why statement. I want you to look at what is your mindset? What is your why statement? What are you wanting to accomplish? Things in that nature. Next thing is defining your company's brand. Okay. Brand development is a thing. It is necessary. You do want to know how to do it and you will need it. All right. The next one is defining your client avatar. If you don't know what a client avatar is, allow me to explain it. It's not coming up with a figurative person to buy your stuff. It is defining a real customer who has already purchased or is purchasing your stuff. This is why a lot of people miss the mark in marketing. It's because they're marketing to fictional people that they want to exist, that will just do what they're saying. You got to understand the people that are either buying or not buying. Okay. If they're buying or not buying, you need to know why. And when you know why, then that helps you to be able to answer the real questions, adjust your marketing, adjust your strategy, and build something that will actually lead to lasting results. Okay. Next one is creating your sales structure. This is how you're going to incorporate with the state, with the IRS, opening business bank accounts, all of this stuff. Are you going to have a free promotion? Are you going to do a promotional campaign? This really is important because this is how people build a return on investment, or ROI. So if you don't know what an ROI is, it explains that. If you don't know what an LLC and how they can be broken off into different branches, it talks about that. It helps you kind of walk through the necessary needs of having a good accountant as you start advancing and growing your company. When I first started my business, I was making under $20,000 a year. I can honestly say that. And now, since I've been running my companies for some time now I do gross over 6 figures annually. And a couple of it, so it is possible to make 6 figures a year. And once you make it, you're like, man, this is kind of like not enough. So now you realize, oh no, I really need to make more than this. This is really not enough. And that's why some people sound foreign to us, because we were barely making it to 5, right? 5 good ones, right? But once you hit 6 and you're like, but it cost me marketing, but it cost me this. I didn't eat it all. Okay. So when you realize to make 6 figures costs you money to get to 6 figures, whether it is marketing, advertising, promotion, all these things kind of go a part of it. So I want to let you know, don't be afraid to invest money because it takes that to make more money. All right. That was one of the things I had to realize real soon too. I spent one time I went on a trip and I invested, I would say 1,500 in the trip. That $1,500 trip made me $80,000. So for some of you, you might say, really? Really? But it took all my confidence in that moment to push myself to really go for it. And for some of you, you will keep skipping out on going to conferences. You keep skipping out on talking to people. You are, dealing with your own anxiety, or you don't know how to talk, or you feel like your presentation isn't strong enough. Hire a consultant to help you. Hire someone to help you get there. It's part of the investment. I always tell people, if you want to start a business, plan on at least investing $500 because you got to incorporate with the state. You might have to hire somebody to build a website. You might need a promotional campaign with social media. And as you start building these things together, you're going to realize that this was the best thing you could have done. For a lot of new business owners, we have a package that we put together. And in the package, I believe it's $680. So $680. And we actually build out pretty much everything you'll need to launch your business, to have your automation, to have a website, to build your store, to integrate your payments. All of these things go together. So when you order this book, you will be able to get that promotional price. So make sure you get it, because trust me, you're going to want it. It's going to save you a couple of $100. So get the book, go to use the QR or click on my profile and order this book. And when you do, it will give you a free consultation. And when you have the hardback book, it will give you like $200 or $300 off of services that I know you're going to want. All right. All right. So that's the freebies. That's the stuff I believe when Embrace Your Crown. I can't say I believe in your dreams and then they'll give you ways to materialize them. All right. So here is the slide that just talks about how you can build your collection. All right. You can build your collection at embraceyourcrown.com. If you want to just go to the website, check it out. That's how you can do it. And then ultimately, you can check out all of those resources. There's a snippet of the website. When you go through the website, you can check out the mentoring that I offer. You can also check out coaching, books that I offer, workshops that I do have coming up. So if you're wanting to build something new, that's where to go. Also, if you want to watch repeat or like past shows, you can go to embraceyourcrown.com and you can check those out there. All right. Now, for subscribing, when you do subscribe, I want to make sure I go over this real quick. When you subscribe, it will allow you to get into my overflow, which is going to start in about 20 minutes. So if you want to get those other 3 points, and I'm going to show you how to wrap this all together, I'm going to give you your action points in the overflow. So if you're wondering, okay, Krystal, tell me what I need to do. I'm ready to jump in this. I'm ready to get going. I want you to go ahead and subscribe. Okay. When you do, you can go to inviteeyc.com, use the QR code, or click on my profile right here on TikTok. And when you do, it'll take you to this. I want you to subscribe at least for the overflow access. All right. It's $1.99. It's literally under $2. Okay. No reason not to do this. I wanted to make it affordable. It's normally $17 to get access to the overflow, because I'm going to give you the work points and the action steps, all of that. But it's not even about the money. It's just, I want to know you're serious. Okay. And so if you want to be serious, if you want to start taking yourself seriously, you got to get comfortable with investing in your own self and your dreams and what you believe in. And for some of us, $1.99 is your first step, and that's all right. Okay. For some of you who said, Krystal, I need all your books. I want all 3 of the books you talked about. How can I get them? But maybe I don't get them all at one time, but I get them 1 month at a time. Then for those of you who want to do that, I want you to subscribe at $37 a month. Okay. Commit to 3 months. That's all I'm asking you to do is 3 months. All right. And those 3 months, you'll get one of those books each month. And that book will help you to honestly start thinking and getting your life and getting things on point to live on purpose. All right. And then the third one is, if you say, well, Krystal, I got the books, I probably won't read them. Or as I read them, I want something more. I want you to be able to help step me through the chapters, stuff like that. Then I want you to subscribe with the mentoring option included. Okay. With this option, it's $167. It does cover getting your book. It does cover the overflow access, which is going to start in 20 minutes. But it also covers having mentoring help to get through the chapters, which is honestly the biggest takeaway is you're going to be able to have me help you go through these chapters and make sure you're earning, learning, and advancing, progressing, and getting where you want to be. All right. So if you've been struggling by yourself, I want to let you know, don't do that. You don't have to. All right. Next thing I want to let you know, coming up next month, okay? Next month is going to be August. August's show is entitled We're Fired Up and We're Not Stopping. All right? So by the time you finish the overflow, which is about to happen in the next 20 minutes, you're going to be fired up and ready to go. Because right now, I'm going to show you how to prepare for August. As y'all know, we are in third quarter. For business owners, that means we have 2 more quarters before the end of the year. All right? I want to get us in good position to where when January happens, I have business owners that are doing just as good as I am. All right. If you're not there, if you haven't even started, I want you to call me. Okay. I want you to send me a DM, message me, however you need to get a hold of me, get a hold of me. Okay. And as you do, I want to show you how to use the Embrace Your Crown series to mentor you to your greatest self. All right. This is my version of coaching. People say, well, will you mentor me? Will you coach me? Only through Embrace Your Crown, because this is what makes sense for you. And it will show you how to make what I'm learned and what I'm doing applicable to you. All right. There's only one you. No one can be better at life than you. No one can be a better version of you. Okay. So if you are struggling with embracing the you are, if you are not seeing the value, if you are not seeing the progress, then I want to show you how to apply these books, how to apply these steps to make them more natural. Because when you're learning something new, it's not natural, y'all. It's a struggle, and the struggle can be real. All right. So if I can help, reach out to me. You can go to embraceyourcrown.com. And when you go there, you can check out all of the resources and enjoy all the things that this program offers. If you have questions, you can always ask me. I'm always here. And it is at that point, I want to thank you all for being here. I am author Krystal Lee. For those of you who will join me in the overflow, I will see you in 20 minutes. In the 20 minutes that you're not with me, I want you to reflect on what we just talked about. Because in the overflow, we're going to hit the last 3 points. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. I'm going to wrap up the message. I'm going to bring this foundational text full circle. Okay. And I want to show you the action steps I want you to employ to start garnishing, to start gaining, and to start making progress. All right. I'm all about progress, because progress is what people will remember the most. You know, when you want to build a legacy, you got to show people how to do what you do, and then show them how they can achieve what they want to achieve. So my goal is to see you reach yours. That's how I build a legacy. It's helping you do what you want to do. And it's also part of what I want to do, which is to help authors, business owners tell their stories and bring their stories to people that need them and want to hear their testimonies. Because I believe we overcome by the hearing of each other's testimonies, which is simply we overcome by hearing each other's stories. All right. So if you have a story that you would like to tell, I encourage you definitely to check me out. My company's name is, you can go to KLEhelp.com, and you can learn more about KLE Publishing, KLE Business Concierge, and many of the other departments that I do have from my company that can help you start something and finish and bring it to fruition. So if you still have questions, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll go from there. So until then, y'all have a beautifully blessed day. It's been my pleasure to be with you. For those of you who will join me in the overflow, I would love, love, love to see you. If you're going to join me, thank you in advance. I'll see you in 20 minutes or so. All right, y'all. Bye-bye for now. Have a beautiful day, a wonderful evening. Until next time. Next month, first Sunday, 4 p.m. Central, I'll be back.